Hey, cinema community, we're at our local AMC. Just got done seeing the movie September 5th. This is our full movie review. Rebecca, what'd you think?
I see no reason why this movie should be left out of award season's conversations for the next year. You have three leading actors who drive a magnetic piece forward that talks about the ethics of journalism.
But we have a bigger responsibility here.
What about the sponsors?
The sponsors are not going to be concerned. All they
Guys,
care
we have
about
2 minutes.
are viewers. Okay.
So is that what we're trying to achieve here? Is ratings?
No, we're following the story wherever it takes us.
All right, then let me ask you this. Black September, they know the whole world is watching, right? That's why they chose the Olympics. If they shoot someone on live television, right, whose story is that? Is it ours or is it theirs?
Which is a piece that often gets overshadowed by mass media.
This was a great movie. It's a hard watch, of course. If you know the history and you know the story, it's powerful.
Our job is to tell the stories of these individuals whose lives are at stake 100 yards away. And our job is really straightforward. We put the camera in the right place and we follow the story as it unfolds in real time.
If you don't, it's a good remembrance of, like Rebecca's talking about, ethics in journalism, but also what happens when countries don't quite get along.
One of the things I really appreciated about this piece was the music wasn't overwhelming. It was very tempered to the emotions of the feelings that you're supposed to be experiencing in the situation.
Talk me through the day.
Starts with volleyball, then there's boxing.
Good. It's America versus Cuba.
Sure you want to bring in the politics?
It's not about politics, it's about emotion.
But just as easily, it faded out and left room for the dialogue and the characters to sink their teeth in.
This movie hummed along. It was a little bit longer of a movie, but
Do you hear that?
Close gunshots. There's a hostage situation going on right now in the Olympic Village.
right out of the gate, it had you interested. The story matter was nail-biting. Our theater was pretty full. I barely heard boo throughout the whole movie. People were engaged.
One of the things I appreciate about this movie was it didn't drag out.
The piece of what have been called the Serene Olympics was shattered this morning. The games are still going on. Within a few hundred yards, 9 terrified living human beings are being held prisoner.
For the most part, it's a pretty tightly edited movie, and it's not uneven in terms of pacing.
The dialogue was interesting in terms of the discussion.
Now, police are on the roof.
Oh, guys.
That's a TV. Are they seeing what we're seeing?
What are you talking about?
Are the terrorists seeing this?
There are going to be names that you know of, actresses and actresses, and if you're a little bit older like me, some of the names of the people that were actually part of the incident, you're going to recognize those names too.
There's a lot to like about this movie. I was worried when we went to see this movie that it would be tension ramped up to almost a ridiculous amount.
What do I tell the cameras?
What do you mean?
I mean, can we show someone being shot on live television?
Instead, you have a very grounded human perspective from multiple sides of the experience.
If you've seen the movie Argo, this is probably something comparable to that. Had the same pacing, had a lot of action.
You need to understand how sensitive this situation is.
These are just local cops doing things they have never done before.
But it didn't feel chaotic. It didn't feel forensic, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? It felt like different people having discussions. And honestly, I was invested with every person that had something to say in the movie. Rebecca, what do you think? Is it worth a watch?
I think now more than ever, it's important to discuss the ethics of journalism as well as the stories that are followed in journalism. So yes, I think this is totally worth a watch.
I think it's definitely worth a watch. I love documentaries. This one wasn't that, but I love the history movies. I think it's so important for us to learn from our history and to understand where we've all come from.
This has been our movie review of September 5th. We want to hear from you in the comments. What's your favorite journalism movie? And if you want to check out some of our other movie reviews, click the links to the right.